for fast, cheap, and reliable Madden 21 Ultimate Team coins, make sure you guys go check out my sponsor, U4GM Coins. Use code VENOM at checkout for 5% off your order. Yo, what's good guys, Venom here back from the video, and today I'll be showing you guys another Disengage Blitz in Madden 21. Before we get into the video though, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you are new and you are enjoying the content. Hit that like button on this video as well. Now, Disengage Blitzes in Madden 21 are very good. They're probably the best style of blitz in all honesty. I already talked about the 3-4 bear one, but today I'm going to be talking about the 3-4 cub formation. Now, I'm in the multiple defensive playbook, and I think 3-4 cub is better than the 3-4 bears just because it works out of man and zone. So I'm going to start out with it out of man, talk about the man setup. We all know how good man coverage is. Then later in the video, I will be showing you guys the zone setup. So again, you can really run it out of any play out of the 3-4 bear. One thing I do recommend is that you get some fast D linemen. So I got Danielle Hunter, Yannick right here, and then I actually got this guy. And although he's a 61 overall, he actually has like 81 speed out of the defensive tackle spot. So that's something, and really only speed matters for this. So that's what I recommend getting. But yeah, with that being said, we will just hop into the cover 2 man play first. Again, this is probably my favorite play to run the disengage out of, and although it is a 3-4 formation, so you're gonna have some linebackers out there, the man coverage is still the best defense to cover routes quickly. And again, if you're getting instant pressure with the disengages, coverage down the field long term will not be that big of a deal. So again, I'd also recommend getting some fast guys, particularly at the outside linebacker spot, but again, you will see in a little bit. So I'm just going to call cover 2 man, go against a base gun bunch play, and we'll hop into the setup from there. Alright guys, out here on the field, just going to hop into the setup. So the first thing that I personally like to go ahead and do is just pinch your D-line. You're going to pinch your defensive line, and that's only going to pinch the 3 people. Those are the only defensive linemen. Again, similar to the 3-4 bear where you just have 3 linemen, same as the 3-4 odd, same as any 3-4 formation. Pinch your D linemen, and then you're going to also slant them inside. So again, you're seeing some similarities between the 3-4 bear setup, and all disengage blitzes are the same sort of with the setup, or at least with the D-line adjustments. Pinch that D-line, slant inside. The next thing you're going to go ahead and do is put that linebacker on a spy. So you're going to make sure that you put the linebacker that is blitzing on a spy, not the one that is manned up with somebody. So you're going to, in this case, that right player, you're going to put him on a spy, double tap D-pad to the right, press that B button, push that right stick to the left side, and there you are. Good to go. The last adjustment you're going to do is go ahead, contain, just by double pressing R2 right there. Get those D linemen on the contain. Again, you have to have that player in the spy for it to work. Now the last thing you do, you're in man coverage. What I like to do is press, shade over the top as well. Again, if you have bench press, whatever the circumstances are, you can obviously adjust to your liking. But typically this is what my defense would look like on the back end. You can really do whatever, but I'll just start out with the base cover 2. And yeah, you see we got everybody manned up. We got the running back manned up. We got the tight end manned up. And again, the tight end being manned up with the linebacker is not the worst thing in the world because tight ends are not that fast, at least at this point in the year anyway. But yeah, we'll go ahead, have them snap the ball here, and boom, you see someone come free. Now again, one thing about this blitz is it's very unique. It's different. You're going to get different results every time. So sometimes maybe one player shoots free. Sometimes all 3 will be freed up by the disengage. Now that was actually a animation that I've seen a lot playing online. And again, I've seen this animation more than usually the 3 players all disengaging. But take a look at Yannick here. He's just going to simply get through. And again, he's the only one that really disengaged here. And although that happened, you see he's not going to get picked up by the right tackle, and he's still going to make the play. You notice that Danielle Hunter he got the instant disengage, but he actually got it to the right side when usually you want him to, sometimes they will all disengage to the right, and again, Yannick disengaged to the left. That sort of, got people bunched up, and although he did get sort of bunched with the D tackle, eventually he would have been able to get the pressure. You notice that if he were to roll out or whatever, then he would get pressured. But again, like I mentioned, this might not work every play. I've noticed that, sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't. I'm not going to say it's 100% guaranteed. But for only rushing 3 people and having like a 50% chance or probably higher than a 50% chance to get pressure, it's not bad, I would say. So again, with the setup, you're going to pinch your defensive line, you're going to slant your D-line inside, and then you're going to manually put that outside linebacker on a QB spy. Next thing you're going to do, just contain, and then you're going to go ahead, press, shade over the top. Again, obviously you can do whatever you want in the back end. Maybe you go with the setup like this, where you use her Harrison Smith, or you can do Anthony Harris there in a curl flat zone, and then you use her the strong safety, whatever. But again, the good thing about how fast you're getting pressure is that you won't need, perfect coverage over the top. You just need everybody to be covered right away so we can't make a quick read. But again, we will have him snap the football. Again, this time you see everybody really shot free. Although they did sort of run into each other a little bit on that left-hand side. You notice that Danielle Hunter was actually able to run from the left all the way over to the right and stop Wentz from scrambling out of the pocket. Again, pinch that D-line, slant inside, put that player on a spy, and contain. It really is a very fast setup. Really only 3 adjustments, and then obviously whatever you want in the back end. And again, really you can choose between man and zone. I will show zone a little bit later. But yeah, as far as just showing you guys the blitz, I'm just going to run it a couple of times. You will see the different results. That's the result that really you want, ideally, because you saw all 3 defensive linemen got the same animation where they shoved him off and ran to the left side of the O-lineman they were disengaged with. That's really the best animation that you could possibly ask for and possibly get. And the reason that I'm actually going against the Eagles is because I wanted to show you that even with like a really good center, Jason Kelsey's got all the abilities. We are able to get that animation. The abilities don't do anything. But you see all 3 got the same animation, disengaging. And although the D tackle did get sort of bumped by that left guard in the center, both D ends are getting freed. You see the right tackle, he does nothing. He stands there and he actually gets in his QB's way, which is obviously what you want. So I'll just run it a couple more times, then we'll hop into the zone setup. Again, the zone setup is pretty much going to be the exact same as the man setup. Really, the only differences will be on the back end, showing you guys what you can do out of a 3-4 odd to stop quick hot reads, at least out of a bunch. But again, I'll set it up, go like this, contain, and really, even if they do quick high Q, you still have man coverage. As long as you get the blitz off, you really should be golden. Again, if you have bench press, maybe you don't shade over the top or whatever. But again, you see them just absolutely torching that O-line. And really, you're rushing 3. If you can't stop someone rushing 3, then that's really on you on the back end. But with that being said, we will hop into the zone adjustments now. Alright guys, now coming back onto the play screen, I'm going to show you the zone plays that work the best. Now, I've tried out this cover 3 sky and I really couldn't get it to work with the disengages, so certain plays do not work. I know I said earlier that majority of them do, but really the best ones are going to be out of the cover 2 shell. So it's going to be either this cover 2 press defense or this strike spy 2. I personally like to go with the cover 2 press, but again, they both work. I've tried them out both as of today, so again, who knows if this gets patched in the future, but it took EA, 2 months to patch a chew clock glitch, so I'm not really concerned with the speed of them patching the defense. So again, I'm just going to come out in this base cover 2 now, show you guys the setup. Will be relatively the same. Again, I'm just going to pinch my D-line, slant inside, and again, I'm going to spy the player that is rushing out of strike spy 2. Usually I would just spy the player on the short side again. That's usually the player you want to spy regardless, so it's going to be B again in this case. And then you'll just contain. Now, as far as the back end adjustments, usually against a bunch you want to double flat. At least I would zone this guy to defend a tight end on a flat or whatever. You can also press the defense if you want, but ideally this would probably be my setup, something like this. You could obviously go with a setup where you double flat on the right as well. But again, if you're disengaging, you'll be on that right side usually anyways. So my concern is usually the running back or any quick read from the right side. Obviously, anything over the middle should be defended by this linebacker here. But again, we'll just have them snap the football here. You see, we get the engage this time again from Yannick. You saw that was the first animation we got out of the cover 2 man as well. Usually that player on the right is the one that I notice getting the most pressure, so if you want to put your fastest guy there or whatever, but really the speed doesn't make too huge of a difference. I would just get, the fastest guys, because obviously their block shed, finesse move doesn't matter at all when they're disengaging, so there's really no reason, no excuse to have a slow guy there. And the good thing about this defense, you can also throw outside linebackers, so if you don't have any fast DNs, you have some fast outside linebackers, you can also sub them in as well. So if I wanted to, I could put Anthony Barr or whatever. But again, the setup out of zone, just pinch your D-line, slant inside, spy B, press, and then again, throw X in a little curl flat, and contain. And again, you can do whatever you want on the back end. I could double flat on both sides. I can do whatever. And that time, I think I actually did mess up the adjustment, so that was my fault. I think I put that player in a curl flat before I contained, which sometimes can mess it up. But again, like I mentioned earlier, this might not work every time. I've noticed I've been able to block this sometimes just doing random stuff. But for the most part, it's pretty consistent. I'll just try and set it up here. Make sure you contain after you put them on a spy, and then you can do whatever you want on the back end. That's usually the best way, the best route to do it. But again, like I mentioned, it's not 1,000,000% a guarantee. There you see it worked, although they did get the ball out. And again, you notice that they're going to get the ball out faster against zone, and that's really why I like the man coverage a lot better. But obviously, if they weren't in a bunch, if they're in a spread or whatever, where you like the zone coverage, then you can really do whatever you want. But again, I'll show you the setup. Pinch your D-line, slant inside, put B on a spy, contain, and then maybe I double flat, put X on a curl flat, and then, for example, if they were continuing to run verticals, I would man up the tight end, do whatever. But you see, we'll have them snap the ball, and then I'll just use your RB. You see we get the contain, and even though that one wasn't as fast, you notice that I think they patched QB releases, so people won't be releasing the ball as fast. And you see they were still able to get hit, just throwing like a little halfback under route to Sanders. So even though sometimes you won't get the fastest animation, the players get bumped or whatever, you'll still get relatively very quickly pressure. But with that being said, I think I'm going to end the video there. I gave you guys 2 setups, and again, you can obviously do whatever you want on the back end with those linebackers and those safeties out of a cover 2 or whatever. You can turn it into a cover 3, do whatever you want. But yeah, I'm going to call it there. If you guys enjoyed, hit that like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and peace. I'm out of here.